welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something really unique. It's a raw recording of a Twitter space, hosted by Alberto Daniel Hill.
Yeah, really raw.
And our mission really is to navigate through all its twists and turns. You've got these frustrating tech glitches, then suddenly deeply personal stuff, and even highly specialized industry insights. We want to pull out the key nuggets for you.
It is fascinating source material, isn't it? Because it's not polished, it's completely unfiltered. It's just this snapshot of, digital life connection, different minds colliding.
Right.
And it really shows how insights can pop up, even in these kind of chaotic online spots, if you actually listen.
Absolutely. So yeah, get ready, because this one, it really defies expectations. We're going to uncover some surprising bits, unexpected turns that might make you think about, what's hidden in your everyday online chats. So let's start with the immediate chaos.
Okay.
Right off the bat, Alberto, the host, he's just buried in technical problems, constantly saying he's being removed from his own space.
Yeah, his own space.
You can really hear the frustration when he says, I dare anybody now to try to remove me from my space.
Wow.
It sets this really wild, almost confrontational tone right away.
It really does. And, the detail about how he tries to fight it, he mentions running his audio through a sandbox.
Oh, the sandbox, yeah.
Which is interesting, right? Usually a sandbox is for security, like isolating programs. But here it sounds like he thinks it's some kind of countermeasure, maybe to make his voice quieter or harder for the platform to target him.
Almost like a digital disguise or something?
Exactly. Trying to stay in control when he clearly feels like he's losing it.
And the whole atmosphere early on is just thick with confusion, accusations flying around. There's mention of a login to hell account being removed.
Oh, I remember that.
And other people too, Kay, Chassis, Carl, they're all having audio dropouts, getting switched from speaker to listener. It sounds like a total mess.
Yeah, less like a conversation platform, more like digital quicksand or something.
So looking at that initial chaos, what does it tell you about these live online spaces? How stable are they, really?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It just highlights how fragile they can be, especially live ones. I mean, the source mentions Twitter bugs, even that whole Update Tuesday idea.
Oh, yeah, Update Tuesday.
Right, where people think updates just break things, and then you layer on all the external stuff. Someone had eSIM issues, someone else had bad hotel Wi-Fi, poor cell signal.
All adding to the noise.
Exactly. It just shows how many things can go wrong with these interactions we usually just take for granted. Makes you wonder how often this kind of struggle happens behind the scenes online.
Yeah, it really does. So after all that technical drama, the conversation just takes this incredibly unexpected, really intimate turn.
Right, quite the pivot.
That same chaotic space suddenly becomes this stage for, vulnerability. A participant starts asking Alberto a series of 40 questions, like a psychological test, right there in the space.
Yeah, administered directly to him.
And Alberto's answers. Wow.
Yeah.
They were incredibly candid. He kept saying yes to things like feeling deep emptiness or boredom, rapid mood swings, intense emotions, difficulty trusting people.
Really opened up.
Yeah. Unstable relationships, engaging in impulsive or risky stuff all the time, he said, feeling like others are trying to control him. But interestingly, he said no to feeling misunderstood or too sensitive to criticism now.
The now is interesting.
It is.
And the conclusion from the person asking the questions was pretty direct. Basically, you have some personality disorder traits. Might be helpful to discuss this with a mental health professional.
Just laid it out there.
Pretty much. And they specifically mentioned symptoms often linked to borderline personality, that emotional instability, mood swings, relationship difficulties, impulsivity, feelings of emptiness, trouble managing emotions.
The whole cluster of things.
Exactly. And there was also that brief mention of potential paranoid personality disorder traits, which someone floated might connect to a techie cybersecurity hacker type paranoia, sort of contextualizing it.
It didn't stop there, did it?
Yeah.
The discussion also veered into obsessive-compulsive personality disorder traits, OCPD.
Right. Different from OCD.
Exactly. Things like being really rigid about work ethic, obsessed with rules and order, inflexible, finding it hard to delegate because, they won't do it right.
Paints a very specific picture, doesn't it? How these traits can show up.
Yeah.
And then another participant kind of framed all this under the umbrella of executive dysfunction.
Ah, right. Explain that a bit.
Well, the way it was described, it's not about lacking motivation. It's more a struggle to actually start or finish tasks, often because you feel overwhelmed, even by things you actually want to do.
Okay. That makes sense. An internal barrier.
Precisely.
Hmm.
It's a powerful way to think about it. And it really makes you pause, doesn't it? Thinking about that level of personal disclosure, that vulnerability happening in such a public online place like a Twitter
It
space.
really does. What does that say about boundaries online these days?
Mm.
It's it's a lot to think about. And then, just like that, the conversation pivots again. Completely different direction.
Yeah, the whiplash is kind of amazing in this recording.
Totally. Suddenly, we're deep into cybersecurity. A different participant starts sharing some really robust professional insights, like deep expertise.
Okay.
He starts talking about his specialty in NRCC, that's the North American Energy Reliability Corporation standards, for power grid reliability and cybersecurity.
Oh, wow, that's critical infrastructure stuff.
Exactly. And he says something striking, like he can literally count on two hands how many of us are experts in that field.
Okay, so super niche and incredibly important.
Hugely important.
And it wasn't just theoretical, right? He talked about actual experience.
Oh, yeah, big time. He talked about penetration testing, pen testing, the OT side,
Yep.
operational technology of Duke Energy.
The industrial controls, not just IT. That's serious.
Yeah, finding vulnerabilities there. And he presented his research at Black Hat back in 2016. Developed a specific Wireshark filter, like a digital microscope, for SCADA protocols.
SCADA, the languages that run power plants and factories.
Right. So really hands-on, deep technical work on stuff that keeps the lights on.
That's impressive. And what's he working on now?
Cutting-edge stuff. He's developing a standard testing method for battery emergency storage systems, super relevant with renewable energy.
Definitely needed.
And he's building this open-source, web-based Docker tool. The idea is it pulls threat intelligence from all these different APIs, VirusTotal, Abuse.c, Shodan, you name it.
Correlates it all.
Yeah, correlates it, gives threat scores, generates YARA rules for malware detection. He's even working on an enterprise version.
Okay, that sounds potentially game-changing for threat intel teams, making it more accessible.
Seems like it.
And didn't he mention something about coding differently, like vibe coding?
Ah, yes, vibe coding.
Oh.
He explained it as basically coding without really knowing how to code in the traditional sense, often using AI tools like Grok.
Leveraging AI to build things.
Exactly. He apparently used it to make an alternative National Weather Service bot on Blue Sky. Just shows how AI is lowering the barrier to entry for creating tech.
That's fascinating. A real shift in who can build tools.
He also touched on that classic industry issue, gatekeeping knowledge.
Ah, yeah, holding on to expertise.
Right. He contrasted, like, older generations maybe fearing they'd lose their job if they shared too much, with his own approach. He's all about training clients, empowering them, sees sharing knowledge as a strength.
That's a much more collaborative, modern view, isn't it? Building capacity rather than hoarding secrets.
Totally.
And zooming out, it makes sense why this field is so valuable. It's literally about protecting critical infrastructure. He mentioned saving lives.
Yeah, the CPAP machine example during outages,
Yes,
powerful.
really brings it home. And that detail about the Modbus protocol being used in industrial systems and in car ODB ports.
Right. The diagnostic port in your car. It shows how widespread these fundamental, sometimes older technologies still are, connecting factories and cars.
Amazing overlap. So, did he get into the tech behind AI training?
He did, yeah. Talked about the challenges of training local AI models, especially on complex stuff like those SIP standards. Mentioned model parameters like 4 billion versus 12 billion and how crucial VRAM, the video memory, or unified memory is.
Right, the hardware bottleneck. You need serious memory for the big models.
Exactly.
And this led to something surprising about hardware, didn't it? Apple.
Yes. This was really interesting. He talked about the performance of Apple's new M4 chip compared to the usual suspects, NVIDIA and AMD, for AI work.
And Apple's doing well.
Apparently, yeah. He noted Apple's lead in memory bandwidth right now, which is key, and called Apple unexpectedly an affordable option for high-end AI work.
Apple, affordable. That's not usually how it works.
I know. He specifically mentioned the Mac Mini as a surprisingly powerful entry point for serious AI development.
Wow. Okay, so Apple's maybe accidentally become a major player in accessible AI hardware. That's a twist.
It really is. It makes you think, doesn't it? This level of specialized cybersecurity, combined with these fast-moving AI tools, what does it mean for our connected world? So many possibilities, but also, vulnerabilities.
Huge implications, both for innovation and for the challenges of staying ahead of threats. The pace is just relentless.
Definitely. So beyond the cybersecurity deep dive and the very personal moments, the conversation also branched out into broader stuff.
Yeah.
Life, philosophy, random anecdotes.
Yeah, the tapestry analogy works well here. Lots of different threads.
Totally. There were these cultural observations about Texas, for instance, talk about oil pumps everywhere, the idea of chemical rights for landowners.
Specific Texas things.
Yeah, and comparing cities like Lubbock, comments about crime and education versus Austin, described as that blue, progressive tech hub.
Right, the contrast. And there's a little bit on politics too, but handled pretty neutrally.
Yeah, it was brief. Just the idea that society is often gray, not black and white, and it's important to try and understand different viewpoints, no strong stances taken.
Yeah. Just an observation about complexity. Makes sense.
And then kind of lighter, there was this whole amusing bit on language pet peeves.
Oh, yeah. The pronunciations.
Right. Is it niche or niche, verify or verify, and how people say supermarket names differently, like Little or Target. You have any like that?
Oh, definitely. Little is a classic one. And people saying espresso instead of espresso drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But it just shows, how language lives and breathes and all those little regional variations. It's fascinating.
It really is. Then it shifted back to personal stuff, like stress management. The cybersecurity expert mentioned he's pretty good at avoiding stress, has this optimistic outlook.
Right. Contrasted with the idea that hope isn't always positive. But then he used his own experience, like his mortgage getting sorted out during the pandemic, as an example of things just working out.
A bit contradictory, but
A little bit, yeah. Serendipity, maybe.
There was also a philosophical bit about religion and science.
Ah, yes. The idea that religion without science is superstition.
Right. And how practices like alchemy or herbal medicine weren't just, magic, but precursors. They evolved into chemistry and modern medicine through applying the scientific method.
Showing that progression of knowledge, refining ideas based on evidence.
Exactly. And they brought up historical examples like how Greek mythology wasn't just stories, but a way to teach astronomy, math, philosophy.
Kind of the foundation of liberal arts, yeah.
And India inventing zero and algebra. Just fundamental breakthroughs.
It really underscores that core idea of science, doesn't it? The scientific method is about disproving things to get closer to fact.
Trying to break your own theories.
Exactly. And how science is global, drawing from everywhere, every country, every culture. It's not owned by anyone.
Which leads nicely into another amazing personal story someone shared. Memorizing pi.
Oh, the pi story. Over 500 decimal places.
Yeah, on Pi Day, no less. And his method was fascinating, using classical music and visualization to grasp complex math like trig and geometry.
That's incredible, linking auditory and visual learning for abstract concepts.
And he credited a good instructor for completely changing his relationship with math, from hating it to loving it.
Shows the power of good teaching, doesn't it? Really transformative.
Absolutely. And then, just to round things off, they shared TV recommendations.
A little glimpse into their downtime, what was on the list?
A pretty diverse mix from Apple TV. Murderbot, Stick, Wild Ones, Slow Horses, Foundation. Oh, and classics like Firefly and Red Dwarf.
Eclectic taste. From hard sci-fi to British comedy. Nice reminder that even these super knowledgeable folks relax with good stories.
Definitely. It's just amazing how all these different threads, life experiences, intellectual rabbit holes, personal struggles all weave together to shape how we see things.
Truly.
So yeah, we've covered a huge amount of ground in this deep dive, from platform glitches and frustrations to incredibly personal self-assessments, right through to the really deep end of cybersecurity specialization.
It's just remarkable what can surface when you really listen in on these kinds of unscripted, real-time chats.
It is.
It really captures the essence of a deep dive, doesn't it? Finding those unexpected layers, the hidden connections, the surprising expertise that just emerges naturally from the conversation.
Absolutely. This source really delivered on that front.
Yeah.
So thinking about all the rich, diverse, sometimes really unexpected information that came out of what was, on the surface, just another Twitter space. It leaves you with a question, doesn't it? What unexamined corners of your own digital interactions, or even just your everyday conversations, might hold surprising depths? What aha moments might be waiting there if you just took the time to, well, really unpack them?